5, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 5, 5, 6, 8, I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome along to SLR Tier 4 here in Singapore, where fittingly as we've entered darkness in this part of the world, 1 degree north of the equator. Soon we'll see many of these Formula One engines roar around the Singapore track that's fitted with 1,600 lighting fixtures, each consisting of a projector with internal reflectors that project light beams at different angles to prevent them from blinding these drivers. As a result, the track is 4 times more brightly lit than a regular stadium. Well, I can't have all those facts to share out there with you guys without the man in the booth with me. Welcome back, Mr. Wemstappen. Whammy. Oh, I can't hear you at the moment, my friend. 1 second. There must have been a bit of a switcheroo. Let me just fix that. We need to hear you. Aha. Yes. Okay. So I recently updated my motherboard, and thus it has affected the audio for some reason, which is, I thought I have it addressed. Anyway, give us a shot now.
Hello everyone.
There we go.
Good evening.
We got the man's beautiful voice back in the booth with me. Well, Singapore, difficult track, isn't it, mate? 5 kilometres, about 3.1 miles, 3 DRS zones, 23 corners.
Yeah, but it's a city circuit, so there's going to be tight corners indeed. So the drivers need to watch out for the walls and try not to hit them, because you know, light damage to the front wing, and it can ruin the whole race for you. So you need to be extra careful. But of course, we want to see some action on the track. We want to see some spicy movement and spicy racing from the Tier 4 drivers.
Yeah, well, I had a spicy race yesterday with the 2S. Obviously, when affiliated with Slipstream Racing. That was spicy, my friend, because the rain came late and it bucketed down. Like, it filled a 44-gallon drum in about 2 seconds. It was Panama weather, really, the way it was storming down. That's how insane it was. So could that throw another spanner in the mix for these gladiators tonight?
Could be. You never know. Anything can happen at this point.
So Pirelli will bring the softest tyre to the range here. It's about, I think it's about, what, 8/10 of a lap quicker for those softs, but I think the mediums really are the choice by many, aren't they?
Yeah, Don't we know? I'm trying to just check right now if everyone is in and we are ready to start the session right now.
to get underway for that qualifying session.
Indeed.
Now, I will tell you what thing. For the first time ever in all my broadcasting career, there was no safety car for the race yesterday. So could this be another one without a safety car? Make your mic a little louder. I got you peaking, my friend, on here, but Whammy, I'll just crank you up a little bit more here.
Well, the problem with my microphone is that I have it on like 10 plus decibels, so I get a bit extra microphone boost. But if I make it on 20, I feel like I'm gonna be too loud for people. And with, you know, with the options that Windows give, it's only like a 10 gap decibels. You can't go with like 15.
Yeah.
So it's very annoying.
It is, but you've got to project a little bit more, my friend, as well, too, because when I used to do at theatre, there was like, we had no microphones in the small theatre, and you got to project. Like,
Indeed.
You have to almost
So
shout.
in the future, I am looking to get a different pair of headphones with a microphone that will give me more options to configure microphone settings and stuff like that.
All right.
But
Cool.
for now, I just have to stick with what I have.
Yeah, this will be the last race before the Christmas break anyway, so everybody can
Indeed.
put their feet up, relax, and drink some milk with the jolly old man when he comes to visit on Christmas. If you've been good boys or bad girls out there, we'll find out. Good or bad boys and girls. Well, I think we should go down to the track, my friend, because they are getting ready for their qualifying session.
Indeed.
Well, here in Singapore, mate, it's the city of gardens, one of the greenest cities in the world too, but we'll be focused on the 3.1 miles of tarmac tonight. And Singaporea, meaning Lion City, and that's where Singapore derived its name. It's also the home of the first night race in Formula One. 18 of the drivers have loaded in. Nobody yet to go out there on the track and get rid of all that dust.
So at least someone leaves the session. So we're going to have some issues.
G'day,
In my point of view, it does say session will start in 0 seconds. So I don't know what's going on with this.
Are you still loading in? I am loaded in. Perhaps some of the other drivers still need to be loading in as well. Hope the mic levels are okay now. That's the best we could do. If mine is not too loud or not loud enough, Pluto says, not trying to get cancelled here. You're not, Pluto? Why would you get cancelled? As in, yourself and the wall have a disagreement? The walls will have to report to the Stewart team if they do come out and slap some of those drivers. We've seen that happen before. The Thor army is here as well. G'day, Patrick. Good. Levels are fine, but we're not quite sure what is going on because nobody's come out on track. Let me know.
I am loaded in, so I would believe everyone else is loaded in. Yeah, we already see someone already coming out the pits, and it's a Williams driver. It's Dr. Ufa.
Alpha. Yeah. Game audio seems to be a bit low there. It's just on my end. Yeah, there we go. So I'll put up the telemetry. And of course the other little goodies that we have as well too, which I'll have in a little bit. We didn't get a chance to go over the standings currently at the moment there. We kind of just slipped through that one really quickly. Apologies about that. Would you like to, if you have that information, would you like to read through the top guns in this championship?
Can do. So Eversnacks is leading the championship by 166 points, with 4 being in second with 121 points, so 45 points behind the championship leader. Ocean Chief had dropped down to 3rd place, and it's 5 points behind 4. Then it's Celeste Storm, 88 points, Max 85 points, Stella Henke 84, Tild 70 points, Bean 62, Dr. Earth of Ufa with 54 points, and then it's Torska with 29 points. So the top 3 is looking very spicy, especially with 4 now coming to the mix of the championship battle. And we are only just in Singapore, so more battles will come indeed after the Christmas break that we have. But today we are in Singapore, And today we're going to be seeing actions, some spicy actions and some spicy battles.
All right, we certainly will, and we'll go on board with this spicy man as he come and lay down a marker here in Singapore. Climbing his way down into turn 1, which will be sweeping over here to your left, and it sweeps back out into turn 2 and turn 3. Heavy braking to the left of turn 3. That was a great entrance. Sensational traction out of there. It's a really good drive. Lines himself up to turn 5. Nice wide entry. Slingshot in here into the all-important back straight down Republic Boulevard. Charging towards the end of the first sector. Sensational speed. Braking heavy into turn 7. You want to get a run down here. Sensational. Gets a little bit of Mickey Mouse there. You're going to get up closer to those barriers to really maximize the performance of the car. Kind of like that, a little bit closer. You can get really to a fine line down here. This is a Mickey Mouse section. You've got to just zap it in here and then get straight over to the left and then heavy braking dead to the right. Get on the power, go over Innocent Bridge. Just get slapping up close to the right-hand side and then heavy braking here. Spot the apex. Get on the power. It gets really dirty out there on the track in the real life, but these drivers don't have to worry about that. And now into your series of the all-important back sector where you've got 90 degrees really all the way left and right. They're admiring all the beautiful scenery there in Singapore. This here, you'll see it basically a big traction of braking rubber that gets laid down there in that corner later on. Turns into like a drag strip really. Underneath the grandstand here, and then Mickey Mouse your way around these final couple of corners right here underneath the freeway as well. And then down the all-important very last corners, well corners really, it's 22 and 23. Sweeping in, don't invalidate, hug it up, cross the line, and first time will be at 138.5 from the Doctor.
Not bad lap for Dr. Urfa. Very good pace, kept it very cool and didn't invalidate at all. As Ocean Chief beat the time with a 136.9. So he seems quick on the track right now. Is Ocean Chief. Let's see who's up next.
Just following the
Neo
Ferrari.
Dio,
Sorry, at the moment.
140.9. And then next up is Max with 139.8. And there's another McLaren driver. It's going to be Eversnax. I believe he invalidated it.
We've got the AlphaTauri Dario. That looks to be like he is doing... so I'm just going to check those tyres for you guys out there too, see if anybody's really taking a gamble to slap those mediums on. They are, Snelly is, but at the moment, my fastest man in the middle sector is Mr. Skin Tony, as you can see there on that hot lap graphic there to your right. It's purple in the middle. I will have to get rid of the ticker. Sorry, apologies about that because I haven't updated it. We did hear the standings currently before from Mr. Wemstappen. He's looking good underneath the final couple of corners here. Still keeping that purple. You can make up a lot of time. Up into 5th gear, making way up into 6th. Don't invalidate, crosses the line, and there's your fastest lap for the day.
136.939. That is not a bad lap for Mr. Skin Tony. Who's got himself currently in the pole.
Apologies, I haven't put the track map up yet either. I keep forgetting I have all this telemetry myself and you guys don't have it out there, but you do now. Mr. Bean, bang up at a P3 on the mediums. Not a bad time at all, I must say. 1.2 off the fastest time, but will that be enough for him to start inside the top 10, or will he have to jump back in and get some fresh boots? How about Eversnax there in the McLaren? You can see his first lap, but no purples. Still pretty close.
Yeah, I believe Eversnax has backed up from his lap because he's on the 140 right now. Yeah, so he's going to be paying in for a new pair of tyres. But Bean is looking quite good with the mediums in third position, and it looks like a good strategy for him since, you know, it's a C track with many turns and the tyres won't last that long. There will be at least minimum of a 2 pit stop strategy, I would assume. Because this track does love to take the grip of the tyres very massively. So the drivers need to watch out what they need to do and how they want to have the strategies be sorted out and what tyres to be on. Snare Henke gets a 137.9 on mediums as well and gets himself into P3. Not a bad time for him.
Yeah, Neo is about to start his flying lap. Well, the weather. That's always something that is on the back of the driver's minds. Well, I had the lovely weather graphic up there that we could display to everybody. There currently is your track temperature, 27 Celsius. I believe the game always makes a little bit less track temperature because it's 1 degree north of the equator here, so it is hot and humid. And, well, downpours of rain you can expect. But look at that weather forecast. Just a little cloudy, and we're looking at a race. Well, it says sunshine, obviously, but it'll be a dry race under the 1600 light bulbs here as Neo does back off on his lap.
Yeah, because we haven't been informed by anyone of the race engineers or anything in the chat if what the weather's going to be for the race. So
Well,
good use of your
tell them.
yeah, but good, so I was going to say like good use of your thermometer.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some of the drivers might have been sick of that rain yesterday in the other league.
Yeah.
Boosted Mass is flying, my friend. You can see his engine kind of needs a little bit of gas, so he's pushing it as much as he can on the lightest load he can. Also, on the best tire, really is putting in a hot lap. You can see how close he is to the wall. That was good entry and exit. Gives you a lot of speed to carry through here. It'll go up into P5.
Yeah, not bad that for Boosted Mess on the 2 laps, soft tyres. But now the top 4 are on the medium set. Ocean Chief or Skinto are going to try to get the times improved on mediums. So let's see how that goes as Bowman sets his time over 1:39.1 and gives his time into P9. And Ocean Chief is on an in-lap on medium tyres, has a DRS activated.
Yeah, on board with Bowman, the AlphaTauri, as it goes down that DRS boulevard. Climbs his way up into turn 8. Sweep it away now and then, go over to the right-hand side, sweep it over to your total left again, another 90-degree corner. This one has a little bit of nice runoff area because you have that little bit of a back straight down at St. Andrews Road. And you tuck it once again to the wall here, sweep it into left through this section once again. That's very tricky because you've got to get all the way back over to that left-hand side and then get a good exit here over the Anderson Bridge. Hope the performance levels are okay out there for the stream, guys. I think because I just have too much running that it looks a bit choppy on my end, so I will put the Streamlabs to performance mode, which helps a little bit. Still waiting for my graphics card, but it's almost impossible to get, as you guys know.
Which graphics card you're looking to get?
Oh, any of the new
What you got?
30 series or 3000 series, of course, but I can't get one here. They're too expensive on Amazon. I was hoping to get one from a friend that was buying an Alienware computer, and she doesn't require the graphics card, but she's cancelled the order because it's going to take too long. So anyway, I'm still going to be hunting one down. It looks like Bowman is just getting rid of that lap. As you can see, he didn't improve at all on the hot lap graphic, but this man is improving, Mr. Eversnacks, but he's down 5 minutes and change to go. It's a pretty long lap around here, so, and he's going straight out for his first lap time on the medium, so that's a big gamble, but the man is leading the championship for a reason.
It's a big gamble, but he's looking to get himself at least in the top 10, so he can start on a medium compound, so he can be on the track for longer and have that grip. Since, like I said before, this track does like to eat the tires badly. Ever sucks, that's
he has to back off.
Time.
Yeah, I was looking at his middle sector time. It was 44.6. It's a 37.3 for what Skin Tony did. So there's a big difference there. I'm going to change it to the tires. They're the tires that they set the fastest lap on. You got to remember as well with Snell and Bean doing a pretty good job there. Eversnacks now has to say, okay, go straight onto the soft side, Imagine, get back out there. Because you've got a minute 37 or so, or 36 to get your fastest lap in, of course. But you've got an in-lap and don't have to worry about the out-lap, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. Forrest's not looking very well. He's only 14th with 141.4. So the drivers are indeed struggling on this track for some reason. You did say it's one of the hardest track on the calendar, but in my opinion, it's not really that bad.
It's interesting. Boosted Mass looks like he's gone for another one on the mediums, committing to a second lap, which he could. Just trying to see anybody else. Dario was on a flyer, but doesn't look like he's got any improvement. You can see on that graphic there. You can see the yellow. That means that he's a little bit slower than what his personal best time was. But so will he back out of this one and go back in the pits, or try to commit to another one? He is on the softs, so you don't really want to do 2 flying laps on the softs because it'll punish your tyres. They're already currently running at about 6 or 7%. And he's still got the final sector to go. So yeah, you did 2 flying laps and you're up to about 10 or 12% on your tyres to start the race on.
Indeed, and you don't want that at all.
We'll go aboard with that championship leader of Eversnacks because he's now on an outlap and on the bubble too, because we've seen a couple of people do their invalidations. And Eversnacks has not set a time yet. So this has got to be the time of all times, because I don't think he will get another lap. Just to think of it, yesterday when it was raining, when it was downpouring it, they were lapping in the just over 2-minute range. That goes to show you the difference between a dry track and a wet track. And it really delayed it. It delayed it for the weather as well, because yeah, each lap doing 2 minutes. You know, that's 20 or so minutes that goes by pretty quickly when we're about 10, 11 laps to go, which was interesting. But no safety car bump to bunch everybody up, which is the even interesting thing. Because statistically, in the real F1, they've always had a race of safety car here.
Yep.
So what is he doing in preparation? You can see he's turned off his battery. You can turn it off, right? So it's maximized charge. Looks like he's got it back on again because it's dropped to 98, 99%. He's getting the tires temperature up ready. Is it just preparing this car to go and for the final run, for his final lap? Is that what you do there? Just ease it up, try to protect the tires a little bit? It seems to be hitting the chicanes.
You wanna be slow on the outlap. Just save up the tires, warm them up, and then just be ready for it. And here goes Eversnacks activated on the long straight into the turn 1. And here he goes. The activate. He locks up a bit on the turn 2 and turn 3. Hopefully that doesn't ruin his lap. Now into turn 4. He goes into turn 5 now. Got to get another DRS activated and into another long straight. Max aim, he got the pass on the right side, as we saw the Ferrari driver. Now onto turn 7, onto the 3rd gear, nice and slow, going up to 6th gear, now slowing down again, no lock up there. Now onto turn 9, good and smooth by Eversnacks. You want to go fast on here, don't lock up here, or doesn't miss the apex. And yet again, but he still seems fast. He still seems very good. Now he gets that 3rd DRS zone activation.
You'll see the sector time coming up in just a second, so we can get an idea. There it is. He's 1 second down. Yeah. 1 second down. Go ahead. What's he going to do here? How can he make it up?
He needs to perfect the final last turns. Yeah, there we go. Here's that apex. That's what you want. Now he doesn't want to lock up here. Nicely does it. Nicely touches the curb now. Now he wants to nail these turns. And he does them perfectly. Go up a bit wide. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Now you want to go on the inside. Step 6 gear, stick to it. Get the DRS activated and I hit himself into P3, 137.9. That was a good lap by Eversnacks with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. And 4 beats Eversnacks' time and gets himself to P3 on the mediums with 137.8. So the top 4 is looking very spicy, especially when the 2nd, 3rd and 4th are the top 3 championship leaders as well.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just having a look at Talkstar. the only driver yet to set a time. Sorry, Rados as well, but I don't think Rados is even going to set a time because there's no time. He's still sitting in the pit lane. This is a Mercedes driver to set his first and final only time straight on the softs. Personal bests, obviously, no doubt for his sectors, but where he is currently compared to the other drivers, we'll find out in about one corner. Cross the line into the P10. That's just that. You really don't want the P10 position, do you, at the end of the day? That's the one you kind of like, could you give me 11? Then I'll have a choice of tyres.
Yeah. Tild also gets a time of 137.6 and gets a time in third. So right now, we have, I believe, 5 drivers on medium sets inside the top 10.
I'm just trying to see who the quickest at the moment with the 3 basically remaining drivers that are out on flying laps. Oh, massive crash there for the Doctor. The Doctor's going to need a Doctor because that looked nasty. He was on a flyer and he's flowing his way into the barriers at a high speed. That would be a red flag in a real session and definitely a medical car to check on that man, who thankfully in the virtual world will be perfectly okay. He'll be jumping into a new car ready to race soon. Shakalaka is on a flyer for the last time, and he's on the bubble as well. P15, very, very close to the wall. It looked like maybe a little bit of a tank slapper, a bit of contact, but nothing he needs to worry about because he's still pointing the right direction and going to be putting his way across the line anytime. Don't invalidate. Does not. Gets his time on the board. How far up? Just that one position he'll gain, but hey, gaining one's better than nothing. I think there still might be one more driver. Snell Hankey, yes there is. He's it. Sometimes last across the line is the quickest, isn't it, as the track evolves, but he's on the mediums.
Yeah, he's improving the time by 0.5 seconds. And he hits those crucial turns good. Now it goes wide, which actually, that's what you want. Goes up 1 gear, goes back to 6th gear. Gets DRS activated, against his over to P3.
That's nice. That's a really nice lap.
And I just remembered Ocean Chief in pole, 136.8.
Yeah, he snuck that one in there. He stole it away from Skin Tony. Apologies over the Ocean Chief. We just completely missed that one. I guess because there was accidents and things like that that was happening out there on the track for Dr. Uther. But that Skin Tony obviously had that fantastic lap that he done early. As you can see, it's 1/10 off the pace. But however, he's going to be in a Alfa Romeo sandwich into turn 1, and that's not the kind of sandwich you're going to want to enjoy for your evening snack here in Singapore.
I mean, it's an Italian sandwich, so it's a good sandwich.
It's a what sandwich, sorry, sir?
Italian, because Alfa Romeo.
Oh, yes. Well, but his Skin Tony is the meat-in sandwich in that one, so he's the hat. Yeah. If there's has meat. Yeah, if there even is. Anyway. Hey, that's what you get. You get the puns when you get the Biggles here and Wazzy with me.
Yep.
We'll give you some giggles while we just see the drivers now finishing up. The time remaining is stuck on the 0:01. That now means all the drivers need to retire. Please, there is. Okay, it's good. Oof, thank God that we didn't have to do a lobby restart. Because the tyres are the big difference on that one, weren't they? If we had to do a lobby restart, that means everybody went out with fresh tyres, and that changes everything around. But we didn't. And if you'd like to read through those qualifying results for us, please.
Yeah, Ocean Chief in pole position with 136.8, who will be starting on the softs, with Skin Tony in second on the softs, and then we have 3 drivers who will be starting on mediums, which is Snell Hankey, Tild 4, Dennis Eversnax and Beaumont who will be starting on softs, Lesian being on the mediums, and then Torska on the softs. And then the rest of the grid is Darrow, Dr. Uther, Boosted Meds, Shakalaka, Quirk, Max, Neodio, and Radius, who didn't set a time.
And there you have it. Fantastic. Good, nice, solid grid. This is the Tier 4. Obviously, we have more racing to go for the final week of the year, remember, as well. So all these other Slipstream Racing League Racing, the other way around, sorry, Gladiators will be making their way around this 23-corner track tomorrow. And then the next day and the next day for the final time with the Tier 1 guys. On Saturdays, I believe, or Sundays, I should know this by now, but one of those days.
Now we wait for the drivers to pick up their tyre strategies and the fuel management.
That's right, and park format conditions right now, they can't change the car. But what they can do is select that strategy, right, of the tyres, and then add or decrease the fuel. What would you do? Do you kind of like, you got like one of those drivers that go, okay, I want less fuel so I can make my car just a little bit lighter, but then I'll have to manage it?
So let's say about yesterday's race, when you said there was no safety cars, I would say have that extra fuel. The one fuel, just in case, if there's no safety car. Because if you go under load and there's no safety car, your race is ruined. Because you won't finish the race with fuel at all.
And if you have to save fuel, what does that mean? You just basically don't burn your ERS?
You don't want to burn ERS. You want to like keep it steady. You want to release late on the pedal and then brake, because that's one way of saving the fuel. The fuel management on this game is difficult since you can't change fuel like in the previous game. So the drivers need to think smart and need to think how much fuel they need in case if there's no safety car at all during the race. Plus, it's a city circuit. We are in Singapore. This track is gonna war the fuel management a lot.
There you have it. Yeah. And look at those tyres as well, mate, just to throw that in, because we didn't know what those drivers outside the top 10 were going to elect to use as the weather forecast is up there. We're showing you a little bit overcast. No rain in sight just yet. Dynamic weather is a possibility. It did come late in the race yesterday, but it was still planned. At the moment, there's none on the horizon. But yeah, going over to that, a couple of hard tyres. Now, how difficult is that to get them up the temperature and have any pace at all?
Oh, that's going to be very difficult since... maybe it won't be difficult because this track has many turns, but hard tyres are indeed hard to warm up. But they do last for long. So if the people on hard tyres think smart and they protect the car and last to the stint, then when they need to pit in again, then it will work out for them pretty well, since the soft runners and medium tyres are gonna wear off quite quick.
All right, there you have it. So I'll expect Ocean Chief and Skin Tony to kind of get a little bit up the road there and take advantage of those tyres, but that's when Snell and the other Red Bull duo will start catching them as well in the mediums. And Eversnacks and stuff like that, well, they're going to put some pressure on, no doubt. Well, the hearts will be going through the roof right now. If we can put a heart rate monitor on all these drivers, I'm sure it will be revving itself at probably 17,000 beats per minute, like these cars will be revving soon in a minute. Because that that dive into turn 1, which sweeps into turn 2 and turn 3, is a great way to get an overtaking opportunity towards a great way to lose some carbon fibre parts as well. So we'll find out just a minute as all the drivers load onto the grid. I am the Beagles, and fantastically joining me this evening, Mr. Wormstappen. Wormstappen, you want to call the race start for it, please?
Can do. And it's 5 red lights at the Singapore Grand Prix, and away we go. Good start by Ocean Chief. It's been a bit hectic. Skin Tony goes behind and Snowhanky gets a move, and Skin Tony's out. Spins around as both Alpha Romeo drivers are now in P1 and P2. Red Bull drivers are in P3, P4, Everstacks in P5. Good start by the Alpha Romeo drivers and the Red Bulls as well. Unfortunately for Skin Tony, who's spun out after turn 1. There might have been a little bit of contract between Snowhanky and Skin Tony, but we'll see after the race with the stewards. So for now, we are looking very spicy in the race right now.
Yeah, a couple of ghosted cars at the back there. Sorry, Neo Dio and Max Splits, I think, going on there. We're not quite sure. We know Skin Tony had the horrible start where he's just going around. That's obviously put a big smile on the face of the Alfa Romeos, but they're kind of just going line of stare. But once again, we got that Red Bull duo again, haven't we? We've seen that all season. Red Bull versus Alfa Romeo, and it's going to be there at again. Eversnacks is in there, gaining 1 position. You can see Boosted Mass has gained 6 positions.
Now 7. Yep.
Singapore Master himself had a few Singapore slings, no doubt, this evening. Or will be having a few Singapore slings after this race if he can get that car up onto a podium position or even a win. Of course, anything's possible.
So for now we have both of the Alfa Romeo drivers in P1, P2, Red Bull drivers in P3 and P4, Eversax in P5, Mess in P6, Bean in P7, Leslie in P8, Bomber in P9, and Shakalaka in P10. This is looking interesting. Screen Tony is out of the conclusion from the race for now, since he did spun. Might have been a bit of contact between himself and Snanki, but it's hard to see because of the way they come out of position on the track.
Rados is unfortunately disconnected from the session. That's why you see a little bit of a switcheroo occurring down there between Neo Dio and him. So we won't focus on that.
Witness the McLaren being inside of the house driver.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. It throws you off, isn't it, when there's an AI there and you're trying to drive this car. Oh, that was really, really close between Torsa on the back of Shaka. Not quite sure if he got any damage, but he certainly was exploring the rear end, giving it a bit of a reminder of a tap he has got. I think he got the job done. Yes, no, Shakalaka's still there ahead. My apologies. So those cars look very similar, obviously, under the night time here at Singapore. And Darsa, or Dario, is that really tucked up there behind? So Tulsa looked like he was going to have an attack to Shaka, and now he's had to back off a little bit under a bit of pressure there from the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, our internals are a bit bugged right now. Don't know why it got bugged, so we don't know what the gap is between the cars. Hopefully it's going to be fixed when they cross the line for the next lap.
Yeah, it should come up in a second. I was just going to say, you can see how close they are. So this is definitely a nice little tight fight here as you go back down to Max Splits as well, who's on a little bit better tyre. Looked like Dr. Uther, who had that massive crash, struggling coming out of those corners. You got the rear end was just not providing the traction he needs, and he needs that because he's got a Ferrari and somebody's boxing.
Eversax went a bit wide. Now Musume takes that advantage and makes a move. What happened there? He must have clipped the... He must have clipped the curve because he went super wide. He made him lose loads of time. Musume is now 3 seconds behind Till, so the top 4 is gaining away.
You're right, I can't see any damage on the car from Eversnacks, but we'll see if Bean can do something about it. Remember, Eversnacks is on the better tyre, should be on the better tyre in theory.
But there's a yellow flag.
I think that's...
And it's Hinton who spun out and lost the full front wing.
I think there was an overtake too between Max Splits and Dr. Uther and Querte. Neo Dio's gone somewhere. Where is he? He's back there, just seeing some positions. He got overtaken by a Ferrari. Oh, and he's off into the wall.
Yep. I believe it's because of the ghosted vehicle.
Yeah, he's been fighting with that ghosted of Rados for some time, and that's lost his front wing. Well, it won't bring out a full safety car, so they elected that the marshal should be able to get out there safely and retrieve that carbon fibre, his front wing essentially. As Bamoon putting a little bit of pressure on Leslie. That's a nice little battle there for P8 currently. The DRS is enabled, so you got to try to get that on that back straight. There's a couple of overtaking places around here you mentioned as well in the pre-show.
Yeah. Ocean Chip is looking good. He's 1.6 seconds away from his teammate, but his teammate is looking a bit in danger as 4 is trying to catch up to him. Yellow flags are indeed on the track, but there's no safety car virtual, so we're good for now.
I think it's Skin
4
Tony.
is looking to be...
Eversnacks now making a run on Bean, actually. So it was Bean making a run on Eversnacks. So Eversnacks is falling back currently at the moment. Might very well have damage. He's going to be under pressure from Leslie.
He is struggling right now, which we never seen from Eversnacks at all.
Yeah, exactly. The championship leader. I mean, then again, you usually see him battling it out in the back here. Look at Leslie making a run on him now. Yes, that's got to definitely be damage. Either that or he just really doesn't like Singapore. Well, Singapore does not like him. He's going to be under pressure from Bowman as well anytime soon. So somehow he's just got to eke those tyres out. Obviously, he's going to lose positions. What's going on in that Mercedes garage right now? Are they crunching? Because Neo Dio is in the pits, his teammate. So he could box, obviously. They're only in Sector 2. Neo Dio will be in and out. Skin Tony not having one of those days again. He stopped. I think he didn't stop, but he certainly had a bit of a moment on track. The guy that started in P2, currently sitting in P18. He's back in the pits too. No doubt fixing some damage. I think he was one of those, what they called a local yellow before. Well, this is it. I mean, if he wants a bit of ever snacks, snacking on a bit of ever snacks, as Dario and Max Splits, I think, got a overtake done back there for P12. Oh, that was close. Ooh, must have lost the front wing. But we'll keep an eye back on this one again. Still the closest battle that is on track there. Whether or not Bowman can do something about ever snacks, because if he doesn't, Shakalaka might. But they are burning through these tires. There's Eversnack's boxing. There it is.
Yeah,
so we'll keep an eye on him if he does have any damage. Actually, you keep an eye on him in the pit lane for a second, because I want to keep an eye if Shakalaka could do something about Bowman through the first corner. He can't. As we're on board with
there
Max
is a
Splits.
5-wing change for Eversnack, so he did have damage. So it must have been lime damage that we didn't see. Going for the medium tyres, and he goes up the pits right now.
There you have it.
There's a yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, look at this. Max, the Ferrari driver, trying to take it down the Ruffles Boulevard, around the outside. Can he make it stick? They're going to be side by side. I think he just got ahead, back on the racing line, and that's job done. That could very well be indicating to everybody now that this is the crossover point between the softs and the mediums. Remember, they have done their qualifying lap on it. I'll give you that graphic in a second on what Shakalaka's tyres will be, as we get kind of get a little bit of an idea. And not too bad, actually, if you can see it currently at the moment. It's about 39%, so getting close to 40 on the front right. So you should be able to do a couple more laps out of them before they start falling off the cliff. I don't think you need to tell.
Matches are going on the inside of Bowman, looking for the move. The wheels are touching. No damage has been seen, but it was a bit dangerous. But Max lets it go and sticks to P9 for now. But he's still looking for a move on Bowman to get that P8. But he's just going to stick and relax for now. It was a bit dangerous move. Brewster gets a move on Tilt for P4. Yeah, Tilt is boxing. Yeah, I just seen that.
That's
Bowman
early.
is boxing as well.
Yeah. So there it is. That's definitely get rid of those tyres. And who was
Tilt
it?
gets a front wing change as well.
So there is definitely, this is one thing, you know, there's a lot of, yeah, these soft runners are getting, so Ocean Chief is the only one that's staying out really at this point on those soft tyres. It's interesting when he's going to come in. We'll go over to him in a second and see how he's handling it. Thor's just a little bit down the road there from Snell Hankey. These drivers are going to slot back out on the map that you'll see to the right. Yeah, at the back of a lot of these guys. There's Dr. Utah's
Let's get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm just seeing one warning from a lot of the drivers, but it is very early days. Those penalties could very much destroy your race if there's a late safety car and you're all bunched up. We've seen it before many times. Are there rain? Because Ocean Chief is going to have trouble soon. There is not any rain, unfortunately, just yet. It is getting overcast, but in about 45 minutes. But the rain might just be too far on the horizon. Of about a 20% chance of rain in 15 minutes time. That's so if you're a betting man, do your odds on that. Let's say Ocean Chief. It does, his time is at 142.9, so he's practically the slowest out there. This is definitely hurting him on these tyres. I'll show you his tyre performance. Is he staying out for another lap? He is. And there it is. So this is obviously an estimated tyre performance, but it's showing really about 59% on that front right. That's got to be punishing, right, mate, out there, if you're driving on that?
Yeah, it is punishing, especially on this track as well. You don't want to reach 70% tire wear on this track, or else you're gonna suffer badly. So Ocean Chief needs to think to be paying on this lap or next lap.
But Thor's going close now.
Yeah, Thor is trying to make a move.
Now, we've seen this before. Thor and Snelly have just been at it, tooth and nail. They love these battles between these drivers. We're going to see it again here repeating itself under the night lights of Singapore. And they are certainly going to be roaring themselves into the podium positions. You like that? From the Singapore line. And he would go over the Anderson Bridge. Oh, Thor, a bit of a scary heart and throat moment, but kept it pointing in the right direction. I wonder if it's a call here. Does Snelly just let Ocean Chief let Snelly through? Or is he trying to protect Ocean Chief, who's leading in the championship, I believe. They are working together, no doubt. They are great sportsmen, ship drivers. And I think there is a little bit of an overchange there between P11 and P12. That's because Bowman has the fresh medium tyres. But I'm going to keep an eye on this battle at the front, because if you blink and you miss something...
Dr. out.
Yeah, where is Dr. Utho? I'm trying to see where his car is. It's stuck at a turn 5. So I don't know if I can show you a car. It's probably too late. Now
It's on the right side of the track.
Okay.
It's in the middle of the track still. Ocean Chief pits in. But there's no safety car.
The car's been removed. Yeah,
Yep.
they've got it. So Ocean Chief's going to come, or is Ocean Chief going to come out in relation to this? Because we've got a bunch of drivers. There's a Ferrari going down the main straight. That's Max Splits. And there'll be Dario. And he should get out just ahead behind Dario. My apologies, as there's the other Ferrari. So there is Ocean Chief. He should get a slot back out. I think the McLaren was pretty close, but the McLaren's a back marker. That's what's getting me confused. Where is there? He is. So he just came out just ahead of this Ferrari driver, Quirky. Lucky, very lucky. Didn't want to get held up with that, because especially Quirky's on 7-lap hard tyres. Ocean Chief going to those hards, but fresh. You will see the Ferrari driver get their DRS down the Ruffles Boulevard, but he's going to be a little bit too far back. Remember, can't trust in his tyres as much as Ocean Chief can brake just that little bit later, which he does. I think Ocean Chief should be okay. Got him covered off. And how's that going to pan out later on, with Ocean Chief needing to be putting some really good laps in on a not so good tyre with grip levels, and try to cover off, obviously, these other guys that still have to box at the top.
Indeed, but I've also witnessed one thing. Ocean Chief is using too much of his energy. He needs to start saving up that energy so he can defend himself and attack as well. Because energy is very crucial and very helpful in the race.
Well, what if you're going to tell Mr. Bean that Boosted Mass that's up ahead? Boosted Mass, remember, fantastic drive too for the Aston Martin. He's still yet to box, but that man, as I'll show you, started back there in
P13. Out.
Oh, where's that car? I'm trying to see.
Safety car.
Oh yeah, it's stuck on Republic Boulevard. I'm going to see if I can go to a car. I think maybe Ocean Chief. I need a Red Bull,
it's
perhaps.
in sector 1, so it will be in front of Stella Henke.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Oh, yeah, that is a safety car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at it. It's all the way across. That's our championship leader gone. Now, safety car means free pit stop for these guys, doesn't it? You would have to get rid of these 8-lap tyres. They're pretty good still, but you got a cheap pit stop. What do you do?
No idea, especially when they missed the opportunity to pit in.
There's his tyres at the moment from Snell Hankey, and that's 38% on the right. Remember,
Well,
just
this
look
is
to the
looking
top
very
right.
good for Ocean Chief, that's the thing.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on fresh new hards.
How do you crash here? I don't know. How do you crash? He crashed, obviously must have done something out of Ruffles Boulevard. That was quite down towards turn 7, so he must have lost it a little bit before. What's happening here is, yeah, I think Snell... Do you think Thor's going to cover off Snell Hankey or Boosted Mass and Bean? It's hard, isn't it, when you're the guy in the front, because you're the one where a lot of those drivers are going to make their decisions from.
Yeah, because literally you're in first, and whatever you do, the drivers behind you may do the same thing or may not do the same thing. So let's see if Snell Hankey pits in this lap for a new set of tyres, and he does.
Late dive. Good dummy.
He tried to dummy it, but thought didn't take it.
Yeah, Will Boosted jump in as
Boosted,
well.
Bean as well, Leslie as well.
It's a big bump there. I didn't realise in the pit lane. Yeah, well, apparently Skin Tony and Eversnacks had a bit of a tangle, which might be the reason as to what happened. So that will be one probably for the Stewarts later on. But Eversnacks, with the championship lead, still has time to wrap up the championship as well. We've still got some racing to go, so you can. If that's a little bit of a luxury you can have when you lead the championship, isn't it? That you can have a bad race.
And Ocean Chief is in P3.
Yeah, you're right. I was showing the gap to leader because the pit stops around here are 25 to 26 seconds. And that's worked out brilliantly then for Ocean Chief. And Bean,
Indeed.
remember, and Leslie and Boosted Mass as well. They've
Yep.
come back out there, so they're all up there. I'm just trying to see who else has really gained a massive adventures. Max Blitz is in the pits there. It seems obvious that everybody's going to box unless you've just got some fresh, hard tyres on.
Till gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car as well. That's unfortunate for him. Oh, Till spins out.
Yeah, is he? He's in the safety car pack, so he's not really speeding to get anywhere.
Yeah, but he touched the forward a bit too much after the exit of the turn. And plus, it's the hard tyres. They literally are difficult.
All right, well, there it is. So, Snell Hankey leading from Thor now. Ocean Chief up in a P3 there, having taken that pit stop just a little bit earlier than these guys. And then there's a Ferrari of Querte Bean, Leslie the Goat, Boosted Mass, Bayman, and Dario G will wrap the top 10 out. Three of those drivers out there are on the medium tyres. Everybody else is on the hards. 3 laps of mediums for both the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin. There's your weather forecast. The clouds are there, but the sign of rain isn't appearing just yet. Just yet, remember. It's increased to about 23% chance of rain on the horizon. As what's happened
Quirk
to
retired.
Quirk. It's smashed it completely. Look at this. Completely smashed into the entry underneath the grandstand. And that's a very unusual place. Well, not at full speed. It's not unusual to crash there, but under safety car.
I believe I know what happened. He must have hit that inside curb that is on the left side, which made the car jump and hit the curb, and he hit the wall. That curb is deadly if you touch it incorrectly.
Safety car breeds another safety car then perhaps, but it's going to have to stay out while they clear the car, which they just have. Sorry, I went back enough to kind of show you. That's one thing we do hope in the future of the Formula One game, and we could get to see those cars and the accident, as it doesn't allow you to choose them, unfortunately, because the game's
I
deemed
have
them.
just witnessed that Neo Duo is behind Ocean Chief. So he has to follow the safety car and he can't overlap it.
Yeah, you're right. There he is currently at the moment, as I can see on board with Bean.
This is one thing I don't understand about this game. Like, if you're at the back of the grid, let the
Lap cars.
overlap car pass.
Well, we need to talk to perhaps Toto Wolff and Michael Massey about that one. Maybe they're on the radio.
Indeed, make a complaint.
Michael, this is Toto. You've got to do not let the lap cars through. It's not good. I don't even know what
Mike,
he
this ain't right. This ain't
said.
right.
This ain't right. Yeah, well, we all know what happened on that race. I mean,
So Eversnack says in the chat, he's in the interviews. So if we want to know what happened, we can drag him in.
yeah, would you like to, please?
Yeah, can do.
We are. Yeah, real quick. He'll have to spin it to us really quickly. We do have you, so we have the safety car still out. Yes,
There we go.
the man that's leading the championship, unfortunately, has a retirement. You weren't having a very good day here in Singapore, were you?
Yeah, it was
No.
just all around awful. I'm trying no line for the first time. I just didn't know my braking points. Just randomly hit walls left and right, and then right at the back as I came out of the pits the last time, I think I had Skin Tony right behind me. He was a medium, so he was a bit faster. But I was trying to fight him, of course, keep my position if I can. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but like on the straight with the king to the right, I felt like he came over a bit too much to my side and just hit me on the rear tire, touched my rear tire, and I just spun into the wall.
Hit the rear tire and unfortunately retired the car from the race. But that was very brave of you to turn the racing line off, especially on a track with 23 corners. And certainly when they're bunched up as well too, you know, in a street circuit, you know, when you're looking at the car ahead, obviously when you have that racing line, you can kind of take your own line in, but when you don't have it on, you're following cars, it's difficult. So, but that's good, because you'll obviously be a lot better, quicker driver eventually once you get used to it. But it's a very bold track to try not using the racing line.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for no racing line. I gotta admit that much, and there's so many walls to it as well. And yeah, as you said, the first few laps they were just super scary, especially at the race start. Somebody spun out in front, so had to be super careful there as well. Even though I was actually quite happy about my qualifying and my race start, because I was challenging the Red Bulls into turn 1. But yeah, after that incident at the race start, it just started going downhill.
You qualified, well, the man that did spin was Skin Tony that you ended up having a tangle with later on. He was the man that qualified in P2 and dropped all the way down to the back where you were, kind of thing. Well, you weren't right at the back. You started in the P6. We noticed that you went out there and just went straight to the mediums to try to set that medium time, and then you had to jump back in there and decide, okay, well, I think I'm going to have to do it in softs to get up there, which you did. But obviously, I was wondering why you weren't quite getting the pace there or even setting a purple. That's obviously because you weren't using a racing line. So I guess you'd be very happy with that qualifying pace. Safety car will be in this lap. Any
right, I'll leave you guys.
Yeah,
to
you're
it
okay. Well, going into the next round, certainly have a good Christmas break for sure. It's been exciting. You still, I believe, will be leading the championship, so it's okay to have a bad day every once in a while. You'll be leading the championship into the new year. So yeah. Yeah, have a good Christmas, mate.
I'll be practicing a lot over the break, I think, and then I'll have to see whether I'm gonna run with or without the racing line afterwards.
There you have it.
I'll just decide on how many walls I hit, I guess.
No, mate, it's how many of the walls hit you. All right, thank you very much, and have a good good year, good Christmas and good New Year. Here we go. Race conditions here. It's now leading from Thor and Ocean Chief, so they want to get through quite well there. Looks like the back there, somebody had a little bit, was that Tilde, I think? I'm not quite sure there. On the exit, coming out, putting a lot of pressure there on Shakalaka. But, I don't know, Max splits there, so Tilde, I think, might have got some damage or something. You can't always visually see it, but it could be lime green, especially get overtaken by a couple of cars. Did you notice anything I didn't notice?
No, I haven't. Even if he has lime green damage, it's the most annoying thing ever, because none of us can see it, and even the drivers can't see it.
And Neo's got out of the way now. Yeah. I think he just backed off completely because you said
he has to back off.
Bowman really putting a bit of pressure on Boosted Mass, but we know Boosted Mass, he's really good at this track actually, and he's not going to want to give up that position too easily. The man that started in P13.
Yeah, Boosted Mass is looking very good right now. He got lucky with the safety car, and now he's on the hard tyres, and pretty much from P1 to P6 are on the equal amount of tyres, basically.
And that's the thing, isn't it? With some drivers, they have their track favourites that they perform really good at. Tilde Luke is dropping back, so I really do think he has some damage. I want to see if Bowman can get something done on Boosted Mass. That is the closest battle, as everybody at the front there is pull out of that DRS range and kind of having their own lonely races at the moment. Still early days to go, 13 of 31, with the possibility of rain looming in the background, but light rain if we do get anything. Still getting, just not very good having luck, is he? You know, he's getting penalties. Skin Tony not having very good luck, but the one thing on his side is he's got the fastest lap, starting in P2 at P12.
Indeed.
See how the main straight there. Bowman has got the better tyre, but it's a little bit more worn with 7 laps on it. But you'd expect to have a little bit more traction coming out of the corner, wouldn't you, to carry the speed through there? But Twitch moment.
Tilde retired. He retired.
I think it might be in the pit lane because it just doesn't look like it.
No, it's on the track. Safety car.
Oh no, the safety car. It's at the entrance, I believe, of around where the pit. You can see it on the map where the pit lane entrance is, somewhere around there. We can't see. We're not going to be able to see because by the time Snelly gets around there, they'll have it removed.
Second safety car of the race, and it's back to back as well.
Yeah, we didn't even get a full, really, a couple of laps in. We didn't get a DRS activation.
No.
Well, I thought yesterday's race didn't have a safety car. We're already on our second or third. I can't remember, but now I think we're just on our second. You know, the only problem with that is that it could bring the rain into play. I don't know. I'll show the weather report again because it's changing. But then again, it looks like the spotlights appearing out of the clouds. So they see that cloud's going away, and well, the sun shine, obviously, meaning the moon per se. You'll be able to see the moon. So there it is. So I don't think that'll affect anything just yet. But the more it's delayed, more it can. Yeah, it's dropping now to about 16% chance of rain. But in about 30 minutes time, you could be about 40% chance of rain.
Ooh.
But we'll be around there as who's boxing. That's the thing, isn't it? You do have safety cars. You will slow the race down. We only are just on halfway through. Yeah, to kind of do the math on that one, don't you? If you're doing 1 minute 40 laps, 1 minute 40s. Well, at the moment you're doing 2 minutes.
No one is going to be boxing, I would believe. Yeah.
Who, sorry?
Yeah, no one is boxing in. So they're going to be keeping it on the same tyre compound.
Now, just interesting. Why's Thor's car got the blue spanner and screwdriver there? Illuminated. What does that mean?
I may be blind, but where?
Are you looking at the telemetry overlay?
Yes, I am.
Next to the fuel?
Oh, yeah. It's because he can pit in.
Oh, it's
so
free.
it means it's like the pit stop is open.
Oh, okay. So it's kind
so
of saying,
basically the strategy is saying, well, Jeff told him to pit in now.
Oh, okay. Because I'm going through some of the other drivers, and some of them, like, for example, Ocean Chief doesn't have it on, but Bean does, Leslie, and Booster doesn't. So is that what it is? So, yeah, Jeff's saying boxer, but they haven't told Jeff to shut up yet, I guess.
The idea of Das retire as well. And his car is on the sector 3 in the middle of the track.
So I wonder if Tilty, or Neo, or the other drivers, because we heard from Eversnacks, no doubt. If the other drivers are wanting to give us a quick chat to let us know what happened, specifically with their race, by all means jump into the interview room, and Mr. Wemstappen will get that one sorted out. Mr. Wemstappen certainly is pretty happy.
See,
he got the World Drivers' Championship.
See.
I
mean, indeed, I do have one, but it's from a different league. And it was under the Mercedes car, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You betrayer to the Red Army, to the Orange Army.
Well, not only that, I won on the controller, so... But now I am on the wheel, so it's more difficult. So I gotta get that, I'm used to it, but practice makes a difference, and you gotta get better and better, and one day you get that, and you be on top.
Somebody is boxing now, and that's Skin Tony, who haven't been a very good day.
For speeding as well.
So, what's going to happen with him? He's going to get rid of those boots.
Marius is still ghosted, I believe.
Front wing changed as well.
And he's on a 5-second time penalty as well.
That's not too bad because got nothing to lose.
Soft compounds.
Interesting strategy. Probably saying, okay, I'm predicting another safety car. Well, he's got to gamble something, doesn't he? Because he's quick. Obviously, he qualified in P2, just not having a very good race since that first couple of corner spin. But now he's got, okay, let me get out there. Let me get some overtakes done, perhaps on the best compound, and see how many points I can try to get, because there's 13 drivers left. For Radios won't be getting any points because it's been ghosted practically for the whole race. So yeah, it'll be I think he's still ghosted, right? Yeah, it'll be a 0 for him. So you got a P12 guaranteed if you finish this race at least. He can catch the safety car pack right now. He will be flying to do so, because they're only in around Anderson Bridge area right now into the second sector. So we're on board with Skin Tony because you get to see a car going quickly around here for a bit. And you can see down here, flat over this section down St. Andrews Road, and just around the corner coming up in a minute. And you can see this is turn 10. He's getting, and this is also helping him get a little bit of practice in, of course, because he'd be like, damn, these tyres feel good. And then as he comes around this blind corner here, there it is. That will be the pack. He'll be able to catch them. And because the safety car will be in this lap, so that's kind of worked out good for him. In and out, fix the damage, got rid of the penalty, and can go racing again. As we'll go racing again. On board with Snellhanke there, and Thor is in the middle of this sandwich. And we see that these drivers can very much work together, can't they, the Alfa Romeos? And I'm sure Thor is thinking about that. And Thor's got to, well, if you're going to be Thor, try to get past, I'd say, Snellhanke as quickly as possible. Then you won't have to have that worry of the two drivers working against you. We'll see.
Snellhanke goes. And Thor gets a good reaction from it, does he? He does. Yes, he does. He's maintaining his pace. Oceanshift right behind. No one's attacking so far between each other.
Maybe
so everyone
Bowman?
has kept their positions. Yep.
Or Bean. Maybe keep an eye on Bean. I'm quite sure that there's a couple of little battles that are occurring. I think obviously keep Bean because he's putting pressure on Mr. Ocean Chief, who was the man that started on poles. And you're putting pressure to the man that started on pole. You know you've got some pace. You certainly got some race pace. But they're just biding their time. Bowman remembers on some pretty worn medium tyres, so he would need to get that overtake done. He's got his teammate behind him, so he shouldn't feel too much pressure from Dario.
And there's two drivers on 10 laps of mediums, so I don't know what the strategy is, but their mediums are gonna be warning off quite quick soon.
I can't imagine they'll go to the end.
As Bowman ends boosted mass, which makes him spin out as well.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't see. Was there quite just caught it? There was a contact there?
Yeah, there's been contact. Bowman ended boosted, and then after the exit, Boosted just lost control of the vehicle.
Oh, yeah, that's very, very unfortunate for Boosted, but get your head down and get back into it. Yeah, the man that was doing such a great ride, like he's just loving this track, wasn't he? He was solid as well from P13, just hanging out there with the top guns, with the big boys. Not that he's not a big boy as well, but I'm just saying on the pace-wise, because from his qualifying he wasn't. Skin Tony now up in the P10 position and really ready to pounce on Max. As you'd imagine, he's got the boots there. But he will have to box again, so he also knows it. But he's took a gamble because he has nothing to lose, everything to gain, gaining a couple of places already. Max Splits now is tucked up behind Shaka, so this could be an overtake from Skin Tony for a couple here. Let's see, around the outside.
On the outside.
Trust in your brakes, my friend. Will he get the DRS activation from that, or did he get the overtake done before?
Has retired on the track, and it's a virtual safety car.
Did he crash on the track, or just retirement?
Yes, he
crashed
on the track.
Out of turn 3. You can see on the track map.
So is it gonna stick to virtual safety car, or is it gonna change? I believe
no, it should, I think, because it just had that recent safety car, it should just come off in a second as they remove the car. They still haven't removed it yet.
Oh, it's gone now.
Yeah, okay. Should be fine, I think, to go racing. I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to go back to Skin Tony because he's looking really, really quickly. He's got to take advantage of these tyres. The Shakalaka's tyres are 11 lap old. Let's have a look at what that tyre performance looks like. As they still under the virtual. So they're not too bad, actually, come to think of it. There it is, 34. You couldn't take them to the end, surely, could you? 34% on your rights.
Yeah, still a fight. So yeah, he could still continue with those tyres on.
To the end, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be punishing.
No, not to the end.
That Skin Tony can't. Wow, that virtual safety car is out for a very long time because there'll be a really coming around. It is green flag.
There you go. Star gets a drive-through penalty for speeding.
Oh, there's
on
Bowman
the Delta.
around.
Oh.
Just try to see where he's gone around. He might have got damaged, but he's very lucky the pit lane entrance is right there. So that would be his saviour if it will jump in. Back to the action of Skin Tony and Shaka. Skin Tony just so much more confident with the traction where he could go. But then again, it is a track where there's walls, there's barriers. And there's not a lot of room. Some places down here,
He has
he
a
can get a
DRS
good
now.
exit with the DRS. And that should be taking candy. Well, it's not really.
But
Look at that straight
Shakalaka
line
has
speed.
DRS as well.
Yeah. Obviously, he's going to be confident with the braking around the outside here. We'll get it done there.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the straight line speed between them was quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, good straight line speed. He had the speed on the turn as well. But Shakalaka defended his position, but he didn't get the speed on this long straight. Now Skintoni is looking to get Darrow next. Get himself that P6 position on the next DRS zone.
Yeah. This is a good comeback drive. I like to see that from the drivers.
Yeah.
That don't give up. Boosted Mass out there. Unfortunately for your retirement, I don't know if he can jump into the interview room and let us know what happened there. Because we do want to hear from you, my friend. You did a fantastic job. It's very unfortunate to see a DNF where potentially could have even had a podium today. And then Skintoni right now, yeah, I think that strategy was really good. He had everything to gain. He's boxed. He's put the soft tires on. He will have to box again, but hey, a safety car, late safety car could definitely come into play for this man. And you know, he should be able to get the job done here, right? He should be able to get the job done straight.
Come on. Darrow's activated onto the inside. Yeah, he has the speed. And he gets them moved on.
Yeah, make sure you get that car parked through there, which he does. Dario will try to come back at him, but unfortunately, as you can see, just with the traction, he put the power down coming out of that corner, but the hard tire says, that's why we're hard, my friend. We're hard to get temperature into and to drive. Of course, once you get a few more laps into those hard tires, they start to really get a little bit better. They have to be quite worn in, and they will go to the end of the race. That's something that will be on the back of Skintoni's mind. As it looks like Max Splits gets past Shakalaka. Not yet, side by side. Living in the background's Torsa, so I think we'll go on board with the Mercedes driver and see this action up ahead from the T-Cam. What do you think? Look at this. So Shaka's gone too deep there. Max can come back. This is
Side
great.
by side. There we go. Max gets a move done on Shakalaka. Can he maintain his position when the next DRS zone hits? There's looking like a spicy battle between the Ferrari and Aston Martin driver.
Torsa
gets the
really
DRS.
heavy coming out of that corner. Super heavy. Almost tank slapped it into the wall, but saved it. But yeah, because I'm still on board with him and the Mercedes, because it's good to see the angle there. We'll make sure that the cameras can't mess it up so we can capture everything properly, which is good. And Doc's in the dirty air as well. Just thinking, okay, somebody makes a mistake here. I've got it. But I think Max might have just cleared Shaka now enough to perhaps be safe around the final. Oh, we've lost Leslie. Let's stay on board here. See where Leslie's car is. It should be coming up in a minute.
Safety car.
Around to the left. There it is. Where is the car? There. There's Leslie's car. Banked into the wall. That is, yeah, possibly just coming out of the last turn. This will give these guys at the back here a chance to box. And they are, as I'm on board, it talks of boxing, Shaka, Dario. Now, the other drivers have passed, I believe, the pit lane entrance at that point, so they couldn't. They'll have to go back around again. Oh, could have worked out for Skintoni, but it's too early for Skintoni, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's 10 laps remaining, so the medium tires are going to be a good way to end the race. Unfortunately, the top six, have missed the opportunity to get in the pit entry. So after it, so what is Shakalaka doing?
Yeah, Shakalaka going really slow out of there. He's okay, but I think no damage on the Aston Martin. Now they're going to go flat out and try to catch the back of the safety car. There's a safety car there, actually. So it is staying out. So that means Snell and Ollie can still go flat out, right? They can. They look like they've just reduced their speed a little bit, but they're not behind the safety car, which is crucial, because we just saw where the safety car was parked, and there it is. It's just around turn 3 or 4, just waiting for them. So they will be able to continue to go flat out, and I don't think they're going to lose really much of an opportunity of a pit stop. So they can. You can look at that, the delta time. I've got the gap to leader up at the moment. It's 32 seconds to Dario. 26 seconds for a pit stop. So now no problems for Snell, Thor, Ocean Chief, Bean, even Skintoni, or then to Skintoni maybe, but then like Max Splits can't really. I don't know, you could. It'll be close. Just trying to do my math on the fly. But Snell Hankey should go in, you think?
He should.
Yeah. Otherwise, I might be setting targets to fresh
Thor
boots.
is staying
But
out.
Thor stayed out. Yeah, so did, well, obviously,
Ocean
Snell
Chief.
Hankey couldn't because they would have double stacked.
mean,
That's
the double
interesting.
stacking is now faster, so
It's true. But you have to get it perfect. I think they did get it perfect last week or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I have seen some perfect pit stops. I think they did, actually. Wasn't that in the Red Bull team as well? But there it is. So Skin Tony did. He's going to get rid of those tyres. But oh, he's serving another 5-second penalty. Okay, that's probably a good
he's
thing
going
to
for
do.
another soft as well.
Yeah, he should, because he's quick on him, obviously, and he was getting a lot of overtakes done. Remember, he's a man currently, really. Is he going to come back out ahead of Dario? He should. Just trying to see. No, he won't. Dario will go through. And Shaka? Yes.
And he crosses the pit lane exit and he gets another 5
Oh.
seconds.
Everything's just going. I mean, he's just. Everything's been thrown at the Haas driver this evening. Everything. And somehow he's still coming back. That's what I was just about to say. In P8, currently at the moment, but he does have the fastest lap. And he's had 4 pit stops. 4 pit stops. Everybody else has had 2 or 1. And he's still there. He's still had. His teammate is ghosted, but he's still ahead of Talkster, man. And he's still got a very good chance of getting some overtakes done. Yeah, I'm just amazed. It's just good. It's just never giving in and never surrendering. But what's going to happen now with these Top Guns of Thor, Ocean Chief, Bean, Max, because Snell, Hanky, and Dario are going to be looking good with those tyres.
Yeah, the medium runners are going to be way faster than the hard runners at this stage.
Let's have a look
Since
at
they're
the
fresh
tyres. Yeah, speaking of tyres, let's have a look at it on our tyre performance graphic. Just having a look, it is guesstimated for some of the drivers, so it's pretty damn good guesstimated. But they are, they're good. They'll go to the end for sure. They're in the 20s, anywhere from the 15 up to 20 range. Well, Snell Hanky, look at that. Obviously, brand new tyres. No problems for him. And he's got to make use of them and get overtakes done. We're on lap 22 of 31, so there will be plenty of time to get the overtakes done. With the DRS, that'll be activated in a couple of laps. Safety car's out for another lap right there. While they cleared the damage of Leslie. That was your other retirement this evening. So I think we've only lost 2 McLarens. Everybody else still really has a car out on track for the teams. At least one of the constructors. Skin Tony and Rados, you can see it just changing in there. That's because the ghosted car of Rados is trying to sneaky pass his teammate, which is a no-no for an AI driver. Naughty AI. He gets sent to the stewards room with Michael Massey. All right, so this is the 3rd safety car this evening. Surprisingly enough, it's making up for the 0 safety cars in yesterday's race for the affiliate network. This is something. What do you think as well there, Wayne Stapping? That do you think these drivers in the other tiers, because of course we've got the tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 coming up, kind of looking at this race and determining their strategies from it, or having a look at how the safety car is switching things up and what tyres that they might want to go on, things like that?
Yeah, the tier 3, tier 2 and tier 1 driver will be looking at this race and debating how to do their own strategy and fuel management, and take example from this race and think like, is my race gonna have 3 safety cars and 1 virtual safety car, or maybe 2 or 1? Who knows? And so anything can happen on the track. But watching other people race from different tiers, you can get an idea and just write down what to do for your strategy, which is the fastest strategy, what tyres are the best option to pick, what tyres to pick during a safety car, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they do. That's why I was asking the question. I could imagine that safety car being this lap, so Thor would become the safety car, and then you got your Thor army out there. Patrick fan club will be good to see that Red Bull driver in the lead of this race. However, he's got to be doing that for the rest of this on these tyres. He's lucky at least that he's got 3 of those other drivers behind him on the same tyre compound, so he doesn't have to worry about Snell and the fresh boots. Snell Lanky. Exactly, and this is a good thing too. As we go green flag, and I'll go back to that in a second. He is off. But that's it. I'm going to go to Snell because that's got a good exit. But then again, Max actually
Dario
got
gets
him.
disqualified.
No, he has. Oh, yeah, we lost Dario. massive front
Oh,
wing.
there's a massive crash.
Who did he hit?
If we go to Tosca, there was a massive crash onto before turn 1.
Oh, there he is there. Oh, they say safety cars breed safety cars.
Ooh.
Might get another one. Well, I don't think so. We just got out of that one. So, well, that's 2 less. Everybody guaranteed points now up into P8 because we've still got the ghosted car out there of Rados. Now let's have a look. Snell Hankey, well, here it is. He's got to try to bring it to Max. You can saw that was really close coming out of the corner. He has the power, but now he's got to get past the Ferrari driver. But without the DRS, he's got to be very careful as well. Too easy to lose a front wing because the judging distance, the different distance. Here we go.
Oh,
There
he
it is.
made Max make a mistake, and now
did.
he's in the position.
Absolutely amazing. And Skin Tony got it done.
Yep. Amazing, but a bit cheeky from Sahenki. But he didn't do anything wrong or anything illegal.
I don't think so, my friend. He committed on the inside of the corner. That's obviously one that you can debate until the cows come home.
He committed, he let go because he didn't want to risk it, and then Maxon made a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. He went too deep. And Max has dropped back there, and Shakalaka now. I'm not quite sure if he get a little bit of damage here. He might have hit the wall. I'm not sure, but Snell Hankey at the moment trying to make his way back up with that strategy. And this is something that you're going to be looking at there too for the Tier 3, Tier 2 guys and stuff. Once again, is this strategy a good strategy coming out of the pits with the fresh boots under a safety car with a handful of laps to go to get the overtakes done? So far, I think it is good because Snelly and Skin Tony have taken 1 place away from the top 4. And now Snell Hankey looking good to get Bean. And then I'm not quite sure if Ocean Chief, his teammate, will allow him to go through to try catch Thor. But first of all, you've got to clear this Alpine, and it looks like you can. Here, can lay it on the brakes.
Oh!
It's not over yet, but he has spun. And that's scary because we've got all these cars coming around. Thank God for ghosting. Maybe a little bit too eager.
And he hits the wall, and he loses a bit of a front wing. I don't think Bean has left room for Snakin to make a move.
Well, Bean's got to now defend against Skin Tony that was next up on the list, but Skin Tony's got even better tyres too, remember?
Yeah.
So, well, Skin Tony's just watched that accident, but from his view behind, because he was just behind Snell Hankey, so he probably is very much aware of if he needs to get past Bean, he needs to find a way where Bean will give him enough space, if that's possible, of course. Because drivers still don't want to be overtaken, but there are rules and regulations aware, and obviously we can have drivers debate about that one. That'll go to the stewards if they do choose. That's what Zombie was saying, be patient and wait for the straight. That's what I always say, but mate, you know what drivers are like. I think he was thinking about more overtakes, because he was thinking about getting past Thor. Yeah, of course, he wants to win the race. He could, and this man, Skin Tony, can, but that penalty, once again, might definitely come back and hurt him. But let's just say, in his mind, that there is no penalty, and just cross the line first would be a good smile on the Haas driver, considering he started in P2 and had everything thrown at him this evening, and now he's got to throw his car around the outside, well, the inside line of the Alpine. He can be confident on the brakes here, right? But very careful that the Alpine driver doesn't turn into him like there. Because you remember, to the drivers, you got to be able to see the car and judge the car that's around you. Where are they? And if you're going to turn in, they could be very much just to your left. They're really in your blind spot, like in a real car. Your cars have the blind spots, and that is where the blind spot generally is. But here it is. He's got to get past soon too to take advantage of those soft tyres before they start falling off.
Another penalty, a 3-second time penalty.
I think Snelly is definitely getting a front wing change, and probably not a happy camper, the Dutch driver, but still in this race, still getting some points.
He's making a move on the inside of Bean, and he gets the move done.
Great camera angle.
Just squeeze past Bean onto the entry of the turn, and then onto the exit of the turn. So next up is Ocean Chief. But Skinton does have those penalties, so he's going to get dropped back at the end of the race.
Yeah, he has, I'll show it, 11. But as I said, I think all right now with 4 stops, of course, has done a brilliant job. I think he's just, you know, he's just going to want to get across that line first, even though he'll lose those positions back. But it'll still be a good little recovery prize, wouldn't it? A recovery feeling, I'd say, of making that basically last to first run challenge with the extra pit stops. But he's got to get past Ocean Chief, who is obviously 17 laps on those tyres up the road. We'll check out how those tyres would be feeling right now from the Chief. From the tyre graphic that we have was spy in. Not too bad. So you're looking at about 30s, it's guesstimated. He should be good, but he's going to be thinking about Skin Tony right now behind him, that's for sure. Ooh, is he even letting?
Skin Tony makes a move. I believe Chief just there part by because he knows he had a penalty.
He does. And I think that might be a clever thing as well, too, because by allowing it, remember, Ocean Chief is in a battle, too, with Thor.
Yeah,
he could get a DRS tow if he stays within it from Skin Tony, which will help him. And on top of it, he lets Skin Tony through. Well, Skin Tony then tangles with Thor. So if something goes wrong there, he can win the race. Of course, you don't want to win a race because people have an accident or something. But let's say, you know, Thor gets a little bit of damage or something. That means Ocean Chief can go, okay, well, here it is. You still want to win a race? And yeah.
The Chief is already dropped back from Skin Tony. Those soft tyres are literally too quick.
Let's see if Skin Tony can get himself into that. Torso demonstrates with fresh boots there. Get the fastest lap, which is good. Running last place, but gets a consolation point. Still got a bit to go in this championship, and every point counts. Let's see if Skin Tony can get that. He's almost in that DRS now, isn't he? But he's just using all of his battery there to try to get within that DRS. And he is. He got it. So Thor now is going to come under a bit of pressure. Thor, once again, it could be like Ocean Chief. Well, you know, I'll let him through because he's got 11 seconds of penalties. And that's Skin Tony with 11 seconds of penalties, of course. The only driver with penalties. So will Thor put up that battle with 3 laps to go? Some of the drivers really don't like being overtaken, even though they'll get it back. But look at the man struggling for traction. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a sitting target here. The DRS will be open down the Raffles Boulevard. Where does Thor go? Plants it to on the racing line. So he's going to make it a little bit difficult for Skin Tony to have to brake a lot later and deeper. And, well, there it is. Got the job done. Now Thor could do what Ocean Chief tried to do for a little bit, obviously. Stick with him. Keep that DRS. So he tried to allow you, because that's the gap, 1.6 now between Thor and Ocean Chief. And with basically a handful of laps to go right now, I don't think they're going to be able to pull a miracle out with used tyres. I think Ocean Chief right now really has to be a little bit worried about the Alpine driver being behind him. You can see Skin Tony's already breaking the DRS to Thor.
Yeah. Thor gets the DRS as well.
Yeah, but Bean has just got that DRS at Ocean Chief, but I don't think, you know, where can he get the job done there, Wemmy? Because Wemstappen, time is running out, and it just seems they're just evenly Stevens on pace.
Yeah, Bean needs to think where to make a move on Ocean Chief and not make mistakes. Because Ocean Chief is driving very good today, but Bean is making mistakes, and he doesn't want to lose that DRS from Ocean Chief at all. We want to gain that position forward of Ocean Chief. Ocean Chief also wants to get the points for the championship standing. Yeah,
you're right. Now, this is definitely one I think to look out for the other tiers. What's this proven actually for us today? The dogs are going absolutely ballistic across the road. Thankfully you can't hear them. Maybe they're a little bit happy. It's the strategy, isn't it? It goes to show that, all right, so when did we have that safety car? What lap was it? 26 or 5 or something? I can't remember exactly.
It was 21.
21?
Yeah.
Last safety car, of course, because we had 3.
Yes.
And that's when Thor, Skin Tony had boxed and put those boots on, as well as Mr. Snellhanke, I remember 2, and Shakalaka, I think. But Shakalaka hasn't been able to make them work. Like, well, Snelly did, obviously, but had that spin. That's why he's back in the P8, front wing change. But Skin Tony made it work. He did make it work, didn't he? And that goes to show you, okay, guys, maybe I should box on a late safety car and put those boots on, because he cleared a lot of that traffic, obviously. He's not going to be able to, unfortunately, win the race because he's got the 11 seconds penalties. However, he will get the Rolex time penalty award. Well, if he had a Rolex, he would always be on time every time and not get so many penalties. So there it is. You can hear the dogs futuristic here. Yeah, they stopped barking now. I think some of the neighbours must have had their dogs next to the dogs that don't like being inside a fence while the other dogs are outside. So Bean's now dropped out of that DRS, and I think this is pretty much going to be how it will pan out, my friends. So, oh, there's a spin from Skin Tony, and there's a massive crash.
Ooh.
I just went over to him, and that won't bring a safety car out because there's not enough time. Well, anyway, he's not going to get anything right now, even he had the penalties, as I was about to say.
Yeah, we've got one more lap remaining of the race as well.
Do you think he
And
pushed it too
is
hard?
1.5 seconds behind 4.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it. Those guys are just even Stevens on pace right now. I think
Yeah,
they're nursing the cars, aren't they? And they're probably really, really scared, especially seeing that situation with Skin Tony that was on pretty good soft tyres even, but a little bit too greedy on the loud pedal and came out of that corner and tank slapped it. So Thor and Ocean Chief right now are thinking, well, we need to be safe. But
Yeah.
Bean is applying the pressure in the last dying moments of this race.
He is. He's applying a lot of pressure on Ocean Chief. He wants that P2 badly, but Ocean Chief is not letting him have it. He's defending his position very hard, and he's trying to get away from Bean as much as keep his car alive, so he can finish the race as well.
Yeah, you can see little lockups too from Ocean Chief. He's just struggling with that car, but it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to overtake, especially when you both don't have the massive tyre advantage that we did see before from the likes of Skin Tony and stuff. That's what made it look easy. But when your tyres are in a pretty similar situation, it's not easy. That's why you're not seeing many overtakes. You'll get the DRS down the main straight into turn 1, coming up here, slamming on the brakes after going up to 8th gear, but sliding through here. But this is where you're going to gain a massive advantage if the tyres are a little bit better. As you can clearly see, they're not.
Yeah.
They're the same. Look at that. Even Twirly Whirly when he hits the loud pedal. And that is a bit scary, especially when you're guaranteed a podium right now if you bring the car home.
Yeah, that's a crucial DRS zone. It's the longest DRS zone on the track. Ocean Chief is using his energy, so there's no way for Bean to catch up to him, even with the DRS activated. Now, this is not over yet for Bean. He still has a couple of turns to go in this final lap of the race. So what will Bean do? Will he attack, or will he just keep it safe and just maintain and get himself a 3rd position of the Grand Prix?
There's also
He's sliding a bit from.
yeah, I was just going to say there's another element at play there, but that's for Thor. He's on 2 warnings. No warnings at all for Ocean Chief. We know that a man doesn't ever get any warning.
Yeah.
Only 1 but for this, so don't think anything. Bean can really push it here. Shakalaka is on 2, so he's got to be really careful, but he's having a bit of a lonely race there for P14 up in a P4. I'd be happy with that one. Can Bean, well, this is it, the final sector, really. You got to do last of the late breakers or divers. I don't think he's going to be that risking it right now, because if you do send a late lunge up the inside, that could be bad for both of those drivers. I think you just settle for a nice P3 and take that one home. Well, one person that's going to be taking this one home as he goes through the final corner for the final lap of the race, and Thor wins your Singaporean Grand Prix here at Tier 4, Division Tier 4 there. From Ocean Chief, good battle between them. Bean will wrap up that 3rd place. Shakalaka should come around there. Max splits there. Rados is an AI, so will not be actually getting any points today. Snell Hankey, after that late charge, unfortunately had a front wing change, will come back and get a P7 crucial points, and Torsa will round out your top 8 drivers this evening. 7 drivers that finished with the results and those retirements. Some big guns early too, right? Eversnacks, Dr. Uther going out. Neo Dio, his teammate, boosted after a great drive and a retirement. Skin Tony qualifying P2, really late charge. The overtaker, I'd have to say, with the most amount of overtakes of the race. Got himself up at a P1, but with those penalties and obviously the crash, didn't see the checker flag.
Yeah, Shakalaka gained 10 positions, Max gained 12. Sorry, I mean 11.
Yeah, big gainers.
So
Lots of big gainers and big losers today.
Yeah.
That's it. There's the Red Bull driver. Thor has delivered for your fan club out there. So I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Believe it or not, the driver of the day goes to the AI.
Yeah,
So,
I would
who's your
say
driver
would
of the day?
go to Max. He gained 11 positions, and he fought very hard to maintain his pace and
Yeah.
get himself into the points.
But he's not a mighty Thor. And even though he
He's
doesn't have his
not.
mighty hammer, he certainly has a mighty bottle of the Ferrari bubbly, and he has the top step. Congratulations on your win, Thor. Fantastic drive.
Well, here's the wrap up of the race for winning it all with Ocean Chief in second and being in third. Chakalaka in fourth, Max in fifth, Radius in seventh. Sorry, Radius in sixth, while he was in an AI, so technically Henke is in sixth and Torska is in seventh, and the rest of the drivers did not finish the race. Henke gets the fastest lap as well of the Grand Prix with a 1:38.9. What a race!
Yeah,
and
a lot of
so many
DNFs.
DNFs. Yeah,
Absolutely, a lot of DNFs, as you can see right there. That's unfortunate for some. Well, Singapore is one of those tracks, once again, we know that doesn't take any prisoners when you hit those walls and barriers. So for some drivers, it's fantastic. For others, it's not. And we're going to obviously hear from some of those drivers because we do. I'm sure you guys out there definitely do. And let's go over to the interview screen and let's chat to some of these gladiators and legends. I think we already got one in the commentary box waiting, don't we?
yeah, we have 4 waiting, so shall drag him in.
Certainly do drag the man in. And the man being the race winner. Congratulations, Thor. You've won the Singaporean Grand Prix.
Woo! Let's go. Yeah, Singapore is, as you all know, a very hot race, and I can say that from my own apartment that it's very hot. Meaning
So you're sweating your full self right now because of the race that
Yeah.
you just did. Well, tell us about it. Tell us, how do you feel?
I felt I got a good start. I felt I could maybe get past Schnelle Henke, but I got, as we say in Sweden, a hockey tackle from him, so I just, okay, I'm gonna back off and let you have your position then. But the race was okay. I was just trying to stay in a good distance to the car in front, so I wouldn't risk getting any wing damage or anything, and then still not build a too large gap, so I can still be in position to take it, you know. But I'd like to thank my sponsors, Patrick and Oscar Holm, sitting at home in their couch watching.
Yeah, you have a fan club back there. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, absolutely fantastic, guys, for tuning in and supporting the almighty Thor. Once again, as I said, you replaced your hammer with a bottle of bubbly Ferrari wine today, and that felt good. Yeah. So from P5, I'll put the results there up on the screen for you guys to see that while we're into the interviews, chatting to the man himself, Mr. Thor, for the Red Bull, from P5 up into P1 with the 3 safety cars and the one
virtual.
One virtual, yep.
Yeah,
survived
that was
it.
Crazy.
It survived it at the end too with the 21 lap tyres. We saw obviously the likes of Skin Tony that got past you. I didn't see. Obviously, you didn't put up a fight right towards the end because you're like, okay, he had 11 seconds of penalties. But
yeah, I was thinking he was. I saw on the left that he was catching people left and right, and I was like, no, he's got 11 seconds. Why put up a fight when he? My main object was Ocean Chief, so just use ERS to manage a good gap to Ocean Chief, and then I wasn't thinking that Skin Tony could build a gap of 11 seconds in 3 laps maybe.
No, if he does, he was trying.
Funnily, he did suffer some oversteer and span.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw that from you, but he was pulling a bit of a gap. But that's it. He was putting everything in. We had to risk it for the biscuit because he lost it into turn 1. Yeah. Though you can hang out, obviously, in the interviews rooms, but we'll bring in the man that finished in second place. I missed the Mr. Chief. If you want to bring in that.
Yep.
to
can
Alfa
do.
Romeo driver. Well, the chief, my friend,
Hello, guys.
just missed out on the trifecta today because, well, not the trifecta, but you had the qualifying on pole, and you finished in second place. You had a good battle there too with Thor. And yeah, how was your race?
Yeah, it was good. It was sweaty. It was I know you did the race yesterday in 2S. You called the race, so it was a lot less sweaty. I guess it's a different kind of sweat, the dry sweat. Yeah, the quali. I mean, obviously, a lot of people like the optimal strategy without safety car is medium hard, but yeah, I went out on soft first, set a lap, and thought, right, I'll go out of mediums, try and beat that lap, and I thought I could beat it, but it was just slightly too fast for me, so I went back on the softs, and I got the P1. I made a error in hindsight. If I'd have stayed out one lap extra, that safety car would have just been perfect for me. But I pitted before then, so I lost the lead position on P2, so it was P3, which wasn't too bad. But it was a really frustrating race in terms of like the safety car, because every time the safety car went in, we get up to speed, you find the groove again, and then it's the safety car came out again, and it's like 3-4 laps under safety car. It just wasn't. We just want to race. We don't want to like do these formation lap simulations. It's a bit frustrating for me as a driver, but yeah, and I don't know why the safety cars were caused, if they were for legit reasons or not, but yeah, it's not. I'm not a fan of these constant safety cars. I just want to race.
Is it? I'm actually curious to know if the settings there, just to remind everybody, is it on regular standard safety cars or is it on reduced? Oh, that was reduced, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, which you should obviously do for Singapore because there's just too many there. But I mean, again, it just made up for yesterday's race, my friend, with no safety cars. That's what it was. The game was punishing us back, saying, "Hey, how dare you not have a safety car?" So it gives us 3.
Yeah, it makes up for it with the tier 4 race. I have a theory about it. I have a theory because the 2S race, they tend to not get safety cars. And tier 4 and most of the SLR tiers do tend to get safety cars. And I think it's because, we focus on balance in the tiers. So the competition is like really tight together in each tier. And then every safety car that comes out, it bunches everybody up again. So it's like really just promoting the chance of another safety car.
Breed safety cars. That's what they say. That's the famous thing. So, and it's inevitable that happens, especially when you're bunched up in a street circuit as well. And they were most legitimately the crashes were because cars were Snell. I'm sorry, not Snell. Who was it? Our championship leader, Snacksy, his car was parked straight across Ruffles Boulevard just before turn 7. So that would have been obviously a dangerous position. We had a couple of drivers lost it in certain other places. Yeah, I wanted to see from Boosted Mass as well too. He was looking really strong in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, I think that's a common theme with him. He gets in a really good position and he's looking good. It happened in Monaco and a few other races, and then next thing you just see that message come up. Boosted Mess is retired or he's in the pits because he's hit the wall or something. So hopefully he can get that together, because I think if he can sort that part out, get the consistency and finish races without any incidents, like he can, you can see today he was like doing pretty well out there. So
yeah, mate.
hopefully,
yeah. P13 he did, and he climbed his way up there. Would have been probably even close to finishing on the podium, but it is what it is. So
he definitely has a pace. He just needs to have that finishing power,
Yeah, that's true. It's like a young Max Verstappen back in the day.
Yeah.
Crash happened, I think it was in the early days. But
I think
yeah,
a golden situation would be if we could have a setting which only allowed one safety car.
that's true. Yeah,
Because,
but I mean, we've been asking
a
Cody's
safety car
that.
is always good to have because you can change up strategies and stuff, and it makes it a little bit harder than just racing. But
we can wish. We can
three
wish.
safety cars in 30 laps. It's
It's not difficult for Cody's. Well, actually, we're bringing the next. You guys can still obviously hang around here to listen to the interviews. Who would you like to bring in, Mr. Wemstappen?
Timmy is not a driver, so
No,
Max
he's not. And maybe an engineer or something. Max Splits, of course. Let's bring in the Frenchman in the Ferrari. And
Bonjour.
bonjour, Max Splits. Good, lots of racing and overtaking from you, man. A Ferrari driver finishing, as you can see, results. P16 up at a P5. That must feel good. How was your race?
Didn't feel good.
It didn't feel good.
No, I got P5 in. I was saying to Chief, I got P5 in Russia, and it was feeling like, oh, did I got P5? I don't understand. And I was bad. In this race, I felt like I was bad, but at least good enough to not end up in the wall. And I got P5, so I start to don't understand what's tier 4 anymore. So,
Well, mate,
but no, yeah.
Go ahead.
At the start, it was really good with a lot of overtake and so on. I was feeling surprisingly on the pace compared to what I did believe, because plus on the previous side I got my third dose of 5G vaccine stuff, and I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, great, it's Singapore, that's the hardest race to do after a vaccine, that's great. But anyway, I really thought, let's try to just not crash into any wall or anyone, and you'll see at the end what the result will be. And it's actually pretty satisfactory. But yeah, I really thought I would got Shaka at the end. Was on better tires than me, but I was catching him. I was right behind his rear, and I almost lost it, and I almost ended up on the wall. And I thought, okay, calm down, just secure the result. P6 at that time is already great. Don't overdo it, and just secure the result. That's starting P16 and to finish P6 or P5 is good. Let's not overdo it.
And I believe, well, you got no penalties, although I'm seeing 3 warnings, but that could just be the telemetry, right? I think
I got 2. I was also surprised I didn't got because in qualify my 2 outlaps I got them deleted. So I was like, oh my god, no, it's a start. But during the race I got nothing.
Chaka was on 2 as well, so they could have gone easily either way with you guys, because a late safety car would have been a switcheroo. But yeah, you kept it out of the wall.
I think that was the most important thing to do today.
Yeah, and obviously with some of those safety car restarts, you were very, very pouncy and showed your pace today as well on that, which is good. So you got some battles, and then it got a little lonely, obviously, at some parts of that race as well. You were just
No, it was okay. It was just on the last restart. I felt like Sneller tried an overtake, which was way too dangerous, so I just decided to just go outside of the track just to pass, and that's it. And then Skin Tony pass, and I was like, "Wow, calm down, guys, calm down."
Yeah,
we're gonna have another one for the end of the race if we keep on like that. But anyway,
we saw that from Snelly, because he did that other strategy there and boxed and put some fresh boots on. Was pacey, of course, but yeah, he had to get.
I do understand, but it was like 10 laps before the end. You still have plenty of time with because Singapore is so much based on grip. If someone has no grip, like I don't know, like me or Shaka, we will lose easily 4 or 5 seconds per lap, and so he will have plenty of time to overtake us. Because
he did.
He will have way more grip. It's not really about in a sense, not really about like time. It's really more about grip. I really didn't understand why they were so hard racing.
They're race drivers, mate, and as this is motor racing, I think, as Max Mosey would say. This is but yeah, it was a good catch out there, because Zombie Kapab had said, Snelly, no, just be patient, man, wait for the straight. So he was also calling that one from the YouTube chat. But mate,
I was very surprised when Schnelle went to pit on the last safety car.
I actually think it was a good strategy, though.
I agree.
I actually thought Sneller was doing the right thing.
I mean,
I think he was just impatient. Yeah.
Skin Tony proved it. Remember, he slapped those soft tires on and just really got past everybody towards the end. There was just penalties, obviously, were going to hurt him, but that's an idea, I guess, for the other tiers to see with this strategy.
Look at Skin.
Yeah.
I was in VC with Snell, and I think it was the right call, because I would have done it if Snell didn't do it, so he got first call. But yeah, I think he was just too impatient. Like, he was driving like he only had 2 laps left when he had quite a lot more laps left, and I think he could have potentially won this race, or at least got a podium.
Well, you live and you learn from the mistakes, and that's what makes a better driver with that experience. And as I said, that's also a good call, something to study there. You've set basically this benchmark for the rest of the tiers for the final time this year to kind of get an idea of what could potentially pay off with the safety cars that probably are very inevitable to come out.
It's
Or the rain again, because it was lurking around there. I had the weather forecast. It was kind of 33% chance of rain at some point, but it never came. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
after 40 minutes, but it never
Yeah.
came.
It
No,
never
not
came.
33, 22.
we would
Yeah.
have been 4 to finish, but would have been great.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you guys are lapping the 142s towards the end, you'd imagine, well, in the 2S race, they're on the over 2-minute mark, so it does slow the race down a lot and can bring the weather into play. We're both starting to come down where I am right now, as I'm not too far away from the equator and have that nice afternoon thunderstorm, even though I'm going into the dry season. Enough talking from me, and thank you very much to the drivers there, Thor, Ocean Chief, and Max Splits.
Yeah. Just to say, just to steer, to cause a steer. Thor, you're really gonna get this championship or what?
Huh? If I'm gonna win? Well,
Yeah.
it depends. There are some politics playing a role also, so let's see.
You're part of FIA. Come on. There's no. You're in
You
the
are
politics. You're in the politics.
Yeah. I
Thank
guess
you.
I'm part of the problem.
Thank you very much. And Verstappen, any last words before I wrap it up?
No words. Congrats to Thor for winning the race, Ocean getting second, and Max having a blast of a race, time from 16,
you.
and getting fifth.
Who was driver of the day, by the way?
The AI.
The AI Radius.
Radius got the driver of the day, unfortunately. Got P18 up at a P6. Unfortunately, won't
Safety
get.
car?
That means, Max, I would have to say either yourself or Shakalaka would probably be the driver of the day, as you could see. From P14 to P16 up into P4 and P5 would... Yeah, you guys decide how you would like to elect that one. But what we have to do, unfortunately, is leaving for the last time this season, so you guys can get some coal, perhaps out of your stockings or whatever that Santa Claus may deliver you. Maybe maybe you'll deliver you an engine upgrade performance package or something like that for your car for the start of the next year.
We're heading into a 2-week break, so yeah, it's a good opportunity to say thanks, Biggles and Wham, for commentating for. Appreciate it. Always enjoy watching them back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to
Thank you for
Simon
your
for saying that too in the chat there. Awesome commentary. You guys sound so professional. Big love from the guy who crashed under the safety car. That was... that's right. That was... I'm trying to think where he was. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Don't forget, more Singapore action coming tomorrow for the Tier 3.
Yeah,
And have
thank you.
yourself a good Christmas and a happy New Year. Stay safe.
You-
Take care. Good night.
Merry Christmas.